Air. The air location of the body extends from the bottom to the top of the ribcage. It includes the heart chakra, the lungs, the thymus gland, and the heart. The symbol of the circle represents continuity, no start and no end. It advises us that all of us come from and stand in one huge circle, where no body is basically essential than anyone else. It symbolizes hence the all there is, the entire creation. Both the lungs and the heart take part in a continuous exchange, one within the body, the other with the outside and the within. The birds are the animals of the air. They are messengers between the above and the below, finest symbolized perhaps by the eagle. When you see them flying high up in the sky, you can feel something stirring in your heart, yearning for what the sky represents. The air takes part in substantial and swift movements over oceans and continents of high pressure and low pressure. Parallel to this, the psychoenergetic system too knows a low-pressure state that we call anxiety. This happens when the energy of the heart chakra is not broadening and is held near your chest. You feel a weight on your chest. You feel low and depressed. Anxiety is hence a sign of a lack of expansion, a longing for something greater. The heart chakra remains, in fact, the first chakra, showing up from the lower chakras, with a strong contact to spirituality. The opposite sensation to anxiety and self-pity is delight. The words inspiration and aspiration advises us that the Latin root spiral connects to breathing, both in the physical and symbolic sense. The death of a close person, if inadequately grieved, will likewise have an effect on the upper chest. Pitying oneself or entering a depressive withdrawal may well be strategies utilized by the air aspect in response to not getting enough aid and energy from the levels below, fire, earth, and water. Expressions of delight and empathy would be the antidote to these strategies, or to put it simply, a sign that these three lower levels contribute effectively to the air location, bringing the power of fire, the vitality and imagination of water, and the strength and groundedness of earth. It is vital to complementary oneself from anything that taxes one's heart, such as the tension, bitterness that you might hang on to after having actually been tricked. The human immune system is under the impact of the thymus gland, discovered simply behind the upper chest bone. Its efficiency depends very much on an excellent balance in the air component. The word thymus originates from the ancient Greek word thumos, which indicates seat of enthusiasm. The air zone is related to what you feel passionate about, what makes you tick. In the Tibetan Buddhist custom, air provides you with the needed speed to quickly change an emotion into its favorable sensation element. Musically, the large movements of a tune, the striking of chords, cause the sensation of the component air. Their characteristics are changed simply as much as dynamics is connected to fire, rhythm to water, and structure to the component earth. You will see hereafter that the component of space has silence as its main musical characteristic. We discuss melodies that carry us away, that uplift us, that raise our spirits, that provide us wings. Melodies invite us, like no other musical element, to raise our arms and hands in readiness for the dance. Hands and the sense of touch are carefully connected to the heart chakra. Flutes are certainly typical air instruments, as are the strings. Ancient Chinese texts point out strings, in those days made of silk, as being most beneficial to work therapeutically on the Chinese energy phase of fire, which this tradition links to the heart. These texts also name metal percussion instruments such as tubular bells, for working on the metal stage that includes the lungs. Metallic sounds trigger a natural expansion of consciousness. Both kinds of instruments affect the musicians too. A flautist might have to struggle against losing the contact to the earth because of living so much with the aspect of air through blowing and playing melodies. Flautists need to deal with a natural tendency to fly off and become too airy. You play who you are. That is why you really often selected to play the instrument that matches your preferred element. In dreams, you might wish to notice the symbolic method the component of air appears and relates its story and its condition. Besides the birds and their colors, sailing ships, airplanes, heights, a feather, and flags have an apparent connection to the air. You can have a more detailed look at their activities in your dream. Are they migrating birds? Does the ship have wind in its sails, or is it remaining motionless because of the lack of wind, energy, and inspiration? You ought to likewise remember of anything gotten in touch with your hands and the sense of touch, dancing, massage, positions of the hands, or sign language,